A little while ago, I read some startling facts. Some figures got stuck in my head and I just can't seem to put them back. I read some sobering statistics that to me seem just sadistic, but the more I think about it, it just seemed indicative of self. And I need to speak to you today about our mental health. So according to these numbers, and I really wish these weren't facts, but they're imprinted in our consciousness by these poor people's acts. So according to these figures, 1 in 8 of us has tried, at one time or another, to take our precious lives. And if that one doesn't blow your mind, then try this one for size. The biggest cause of death in men today is suicide. And I said suicide, not homicide or even heart attack. And we just face this epidemic, apathetics on our backs, and don't tell me to calm down. And don't you dare tell me to relax. Because I am angry and I'm offended by these catastrophic facts. Because we should have seen it coming. I mean, we even saw the cracks. And we asked the government for help and they said they haven't got the cash. But what about you? Why aren't you angry? Why aren't you even sad? I mean, come on people, why aren't you going ballistic when you hear these statistics? And for those of you who suffer still and maybe at the end, listen, I'm sorry that we failed you, that you think you have no friends, that we cannot see your suffering and you think it will not end. And that you think we're better off without you being a burden on us all. Am I making any sense now, people? I mean, the writing's on the wall. And for those of you who suffer still, I've got yet this to say to you. I know what it feels like to have that black dog on your back when you're trying to make him sit, but he only will attack. And I know what it feels like to be sitting in the dark and you're trying to find a light, but you can barely see a spark. The NHS lies crumbling as greedy politicians count their coin, and we're all just here disconnected from each other like a mother from her child when it's ripped up from her breast. And we said this is doing our best. I charge this broken system is polemic and endemic of itself. You know, guys, lately I've been trying to find the words to do justice to this crime, and my thesaurus wasn't big enough and I just didn't have the time. Sympathetic, empathetic, these words have hollowed in. We grasped it with our fingers but it wouldn't let us in, and we looked at it with open eyes and we couldn't see it still. And we very nearly had it for a moment until we lost our sense of self and it became socially unacceptable to discuss our mental health. And what is with the stigma? What is with the shame? When will we ever be man enough to voice our mental pain? So I guess this is it then. We've reached our epidemic, this bubonic of our time. I mean, come on, the tipping point has come and gone. It's lost to space and time. And I want to know something. Who keeps these totals tallied and keeps the books in line and tells us that every 2 hours someone else will die? I mean, what the hell is going on there? Have we all lost our bloody minds? And I also want to know, if this is just a tragic game of numbers, is there such thing as a highest score? And what would be that number before we say no more?